see a bit of a seasonal adjustments in September's release. Most importantly, and very encouraging is to see exports actually pick up in numbers. I think there are some lag effects, obviously, that from the policies and support mechanism being put in the systems. In the early summer, now you start to see the numbers. Import clearly slowed down a bit because of the, commodity prices, so on and so forth. And you briefly mentioned on some of the mix of the data release, touch base on, let's say, a bit of inflation front. We clearly see food price deflation widened a bit in September. For instance, pork price dropped by 22%. But I think it's understandable. It's a seasonal thing. It's summertime. Probably, there's a different preferences of diaries at this kind of season anyway. And you come into an autumn where, fruits and veggies are plenty out there. So you would see a bit of a continuation of food price deflation in the coming months, I would expect. However, once winter starts to approach, you will see some pickup from there very clearly. Non-food inflation actually picked up a bit, not massively, but pick up in a bit. So we do think this kind of data may continue a bit, but you will have a bit of a lag effect. We do think there are certain good seed being planted into the economy. It's yet to reflect in the data. Okay, that's the imports and exports analysis. Next, let's crunch this latest set of figures on CPI and PPI and their implications. Right. What do you make of it? I think on the high level, obviously, we would want the numbers slightly showing a bit of uptake. Like I said, the food price obviously still continues going down and the non-food price pick up a bit. But this is actually giving the Chinese policymakers a huge room to say if they shall decide to inject more liquidities, they have the room to inject more liquidities. In our opinion, you wouldn't see PPI to dramatically improve in the coming months. You will see the decline to narrow, but PPI, I do expect, CPI, the inflation, we do expect to pick up gradually in the coming months as the seasonal start to kick in. Okay, taken as a whole, given what you've just said, what do these numbers say about China's economy? And come to that, the consequentials for the rest of the world watching with interest, obviously. Absolutely. I think for most of the 2023, Jamie, the market has been focused heavily on China, on downside risks. But I have to say the current mix of the data, the macro, and the market environment actually suggests the surprise should be on the upside. If you look at it, the overall equity market in China is on the cheap valuation, decade-low cheap valuations. You have very supportive policy there. You have very accommodative monetary policy there. The data you just discussed shows the policymaker has a huge room continue to inject liquidity. You have liquidity in the systems, and the market actually pressed in a historical high implied volatility to this market. If you ask me anything, it should be surprised on the upside. Xiaolin Chen, lovely to see you. Thank you so much for coming back on the programme. Have a great weekend. Xiaolin Chen, Head of International at KraneShares.